Yeah. Oh yeah.
Woo!
Throw it up. Throw it up. What is going on? It's your boy, Fat Samurai Guy. Back again, hanging out with what? The Geare brothers. What? We got some legends here in the house. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good, Samurai. We're doing good now that we're here hanging with you, buddy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm still getting chills from that trailer, man. I'm still getting chills.
Awesome.
And I thought it was hilarious. You guys were cracking me up when you actually reached out to me on Instagram, letting me know that my trailer reaction cracked you guys up. So I'm glad I was there to make you laugh.
Man.
We got quite a kick out of it. I loved it. I loved that right when it ended, you went right back to watch it again, which was really funny.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember because when you were I just loved your reaction, like how pumped you were getting on it. Because truthfully, when I first saw the trailer after they cut it, I was like, I mean, it got me pumped, man. You know what I mean? I was really excited. I was really happy with it. So
yeah,
just seeing your reaction to it, Matt, you know, your enthusiasm with it was awesome, man.
Well, thank you. It's right up Samurai Guy's alley. That's why one of my followers said, my followers know me. They know what I like, and so they said that in the trailer, and I was like, oh well, shit, I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out. But
nice.
Yeah, thanks again. It's an honor to have you guys here, and I can't wait to talk movies with you. But you know, one particular movie, The Retaliators, baby. That's right. That's why we are here to represent. And this is still coming out September 14th?
It is. Yeah. It's going to be in theaters worldwide, actually, on September 14th. So it's pretty exciting.
Oh, really? Okay, awesome. I can't wait to see it. You know, Samurai Guy,
yeah.
I gotta check it out for sure.
Nice.
But yeah, before we get started and talk a little bit about some retaliators, we're gonna retaliate. Let's talk about you two first. Darren, Jeff. Well, we could start with Darren. How did you get into the industry, and what were some of your motivations that brought you in?
Well, it's when I was younger, I just sort of from a very young age was just obsessed and in love with movies. I mean, as young as I can remember, I would, you know, when people would say, what do you want to do when you grow up? I used to say, I want to be a writer. I want to be a director. And then you know, and it was the typical, I sort of had a lot of the traditional kind of almost cliched things. I worked in a video store, but I think I'd probably have everybody beat with my video store story because I was 9 when I worked in a video store.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, not good with the child labor laws, but you know, it was. I would hang out after school in this like Circle K parking lot, and there was a mom and pop video store in there, and I used to just walk up and down the aisles and stare at every box. And I was in there so much that the owner eventually said, "Hey, you're in here every day. How about you help alphabetize the movies and put movies away, and I'll pay you in movies." So I used to get to rent any movies I wanted for free from working there. So that was at 9 years old. So that helped definitely cement my love for movies. Starting at about 12, I actually started acting. And I did acting from about 13 to like my early 20s. Never got far enough of anything of serious note. I had some tiny parts in some bigger movies, and had some, you know, was in some horrendous movies, and, you know, did this, you know, the sort of typical, you know, commercials and pilots that never made it to the air, or pilots that were canceled after the first episode. I was in the running for some big roles, but along that path doing acting, I started to actually really get into music. And so by the time I'd sort of my passion for acting sort of evolved into where music became a full-time thing, and so I was played in a band with Jeff, my brother, and
what'd you play, Jeff? What'd you play?
Guitar and harmonies.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Darren?
Yeah, I was the singer and guitar player.
Nice.
So yeah, so we did. We had some indie record deals and did regional touring, and we were doing that for a while. Writing was always something that was a goal that we just I just never really went for. Dabbled in it a little bit back when I was still acting, but so the crazy journey taking us to the Retaliators is that it started with literally just calling Jeff one day and saying, "Hey, I know we always wanted to write. We always threatened to write a script, and hey, no expectations, no pressure. Let's not tell anybody. Let's just start writing." And the journey to how the Retaliators was written is its own long story, which we're happy to get to. But yeah, that we wrote a script. We wrote the Retaliators. We had no idea what anyone would think of it, and we got advice to give it to the blacklist and get coverage. And the advice we got was, "Hey, look, you won't get a good rating on there because it's your first script, but you'll learn what you're doing wrong, and it can be really educational." And we were like, "Okay, cool." And so we sent it in and started. We got on their top list. We got high ratings, and much to our serious shock. And then very shortly after, offers started coming in to option the film. So it was
Nice.
it's been just a crazy journey. So it's been a windy kind of crazy road from getting us to where we're at right now.
Nice. Was the name of your band the Retaliators?
No.
No.
What's funny is when because Darren was actually me and Darren were working on another script, and we had reached some puzzles that were hard to kind of get over, and whenever we do that, I feel like we're hitting a wall. One of us will go, "Hey, you got any idea?" Like just kind of flip through like little log lines and see like, "Hey, does this idea sound cool?" And I was looking through Darren's on his phone, and we were going one by one, and I saw one that said the Retaliators, and I was like, "Dude, that sounds so fucking rock and roll, man!"
Yeah.
Like it sounds it sounds so cool. And he was like, "Yeah, oh well, let me tell you the idea I had." So that's really where where I got on board with it, going like, "Oh, I love it." You know what I mean? Then once we connected to the backstory with it and everything, and like where all the inspiration came from, that kind of kicked it off. But yeah, we definitely, from the inception, it was like, this sounds rock and roll, man. And it's kind of cool to see it how it's coming to fruition, being so tied to, to awesome rock music. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of rock and roll, I mean, y'all got all these badasses are a part of the project here. I mean, come on. You got the Who? The Who? What? Like, this is insane, man. Like, I mean, see, you're bringing me action, violence, and horror and metal.
Yeah.
Where can I pay for the ticket? Where can I buy the ticket now? Okay.
Well, and the funny thing is, I mean, you're naming just like you, Samurai. There's just nothing I love more in the world than horror and metal. So they go together so well.
It's a great combo.
It's peanut butter and chocolate.
Well, with the horror that we love the most too. You know what I mean? It's not, like Hereditary or something like that kind of horror. You know what I mean? This is, balls to the wall horror, so.
Yeah. So you gotta have balls to the wall music to go along
Exactly.
with it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta blow you guys up for a second. I gotta look at the background there. I mean, what do you got? Oh, look at all those awesome posters back there. Look at that.
Yeah,
Return
we
of the
got,
Living Dead. What? That's my
yeah,
favorite right there.
Oh, it is. Oh, dude, that's one of my
nice.
favorites too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge fan of that.
We got Lost Boys in
Nice.
this view here. We got a lot in this room, but yeah, we got Return of the Living Dead, Lost Boys. Let's see what you got. Joe Bob Briggs.
Yep, Joe Bob.
There you go. That's right.
And we got some. Don't forget Bronson over there. I think he's hiding over there.
Yeah, we got Bronson VHS. We got Sorcerer, William Friedkin Sorcerer.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that movie blew my mind. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that film existed until a couple of years back.
Yeah,
And a buddy of mine told really. A buddy of mine told me about it, and me and my wife watched it, and we were just like, we couldn't believe how good it was. Intense.
Yeah, I watched it. I called Jeff. He came over. I said, "You have to come over." The greatest movie ever made. No one ever talks about is we're watching it tonight, and I've seen it so many times since. But yeah, the reason most people have never heard about it is because famously, you had Friedkin, who was coming off of The French Connection,
right?
Which I mean, all the Oscars and I mean, obviously just an all-time classic, phenomenal movie. That was his debut. Then he follows that up with The Exorcist, which obviously, was not only the biggest film ever made at the time, the highest box office ever at the time, but it also, as we all know, turned into this global phenomenon. So he
a movie that you cannot make now.
No.
Oh God, no.
How it was made too.
Oh God,
like slaps and Friedkin was crazy.
Friedkin was just So he could make anything and do anything, and he had the keys to the kingdom. So he made Sorcerer, which I mean, in my opinion, I think is his ultimate masterpiece. I think it's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
But the reason nobody knows about it is because it came out, I believe it was the same week as Star Wars. And so Star Wars, it was in 77.
I forgot about that. Wow.
And Star Wars obviously, changed the tone of the dark, grimy 70s, you had all the lead characters dying at the end of movies and all just the grime and grit that we know and love of 70s. Star Wars was that bellwether of, now obviously you have lines around the block going in for the big fantasy happy ending and all of that. And so Sorcerer being as dark, I mean, that movie is so ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
And
it's
how
dark
edgy
till the end. Till the end it's dark.
Dark, starts dark, goes dark. There's no protagonist in the whole movie. It's all bad guys.
And the suspense, just drives the whole movie. It's
So it turned into one of those really kind of hidden treasure movies, and then I guess filmmakers started really championing it and getting the word out, and so. I stumbled across it, and it was like an article somewhere, and then it was like, "What the hell is this, Sorcerer?" And then it's that's definitely one of both of our all-time favorites for sure.
Fantastic! It's an A+ movie for sure. It's
And
I don't know if this is confirmed, but in the series The Mandalorian, there was an episode where the whole episode was them transporting in vehicles explosions.
No
way. Somebody said that they loved the Sorcerer behind the scenes, and they kind of whoever wrote the script, that was their homage. I don't know if that's true, but that's a hell of a coincidence.
Wow. We'll say it's true. It's
okay. I'm gonna check that out.
More fun if it's true.
Confirmed here on the channel. It's true.
The Geare brothers have confirmed that story.
There you go. They have confirmed it. Yes. But yeah, you guys are my brothers already, man. I mean, we're on the same page for sure.
Hell yeah.
in terms of like, because you got that Return of the Living Dead poster in the back there, which that movie I can watch every day. I can watch Return of the Living Dead every day.
I mean, it's just about as good as it gets. I mean,
I think it's got like my favorite film intro of all time. Like just that whole first,
Well,
and then from there, it just gets better.
It just gets better. Yeah, I know.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Wait, what am I watching?
Well, when you
this
go
is hilarious." You know what I mean?
Well,
and
how many movies are that awesome? How many movies are that awesome before the credits?
Right.
During the credits.
Yeah.
And so the whole intro, and then where it goes when you get to the graveyard next. Now it's like, I mean, God,
I couldn't believe what I was watching when I first saw it. It totally blew my mind.
I have Leanna quickly signed that poster, the one that I have.
Oh, no way! That's even better.
Yeah,
it's even better. Since we're on the concept of horror, I have to ask, give me some of your favorite horror films. We'll start with you, Darren.
Well, you're looking at two of them. Right there, Lost Boys. Lost Boys is, I always call it my favorite movie. It's very hard, which I think a lot of movies are like this for probably most cinema lovers. It's very hard for me to separate the nostalgia from the actual film because,
I'm right there with you.
so for me, Lost Boys just, as a kid, I mean, I was so obsessed with that movie, and that's a movie I can watch just endlessly. I love the cinematography, I love the acting, I love the costumes, the music, the gore, it's just, and what I love about it is it's so singular too, because it's not all the way horror. There's comedy, it's got that, it's
got one of the best comedic scenes ever. When, the mirror shows.
Frog Brothers, and then the music is so good. It's so iconic. Kiefer Sutherland is. I mean, that role and that performance is.
Born to play that.
So
he's born to play that role.
So Lost Boys for sure. Return of the Living Dead, no question, all time. Huge Hills Have Eyes.
All right.
Fan. Wes Craven, Nightmare. John Carpenter is one of the most, I would say, profound sort of influences as a writer and filmmaker. To me,
sure.
the original Halloween,
endless fountain of inspiration from John Carpenter.
I mean, I love so many of his films. The Thing, and obviously Halloween to me, I think is perfect from first frame to end. I think it's flawless. I argue that it's a movie. Maybe there is another one out there. I haven't seen one, or I'm just not aware of it, where literally you are in a feeling of suspense from opening frame all the way through the end. I think there actually technically is about 15 seconds where it's like where the detective's talking and they're looking at the crime scene outside. There's maybe 15 seconds. Other than that, you are always feeling the threat of Michael Myers talking and watching, and the cinematography, and obviously the Panaglide in the beginning. And so, those are probably, if just top of my head, Evil Dead, obviously,
right?
One and two. I don't know.
Although I'm partial to, I'm partial to Evil Dead 1. Actually, I know a lot of people like Evil Dead 2.
Wow,
more, but
still great. It's still a classic.
Still great.
I love them both.
But if I were to pick like my top, I mean, I have a lot, but two that come to mind, like just off the top of my head. One we've already mentioned, The Exorcist.
Yeah,
that movie it still freaks me out, man. If I'm laying at bed at the right time of the week or something, I'll be like, is my bed shaking a little? Like, you know what I mean? I still get a little freaked out with like demons and shit. I thought, I'm not like I believe in that stuff, but it's like, it doesn't matter if you believe in that stuff. That's the power of the film. It's like, well, what if? You know what I mean? And it just almost possesses you in a way. But another one, you know, it's not a straight horror, but I consider it a horror film. One of the greatest of the '90s was Jurassic Park, and you know that came out when I was a boy, and that scared the shit out of me, man. I had so many dinosaur nightmares after that and everything, and I can still watch it over and over and over again, and it still hooks me. Never go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeff Goldblum is like, I mean, he just steals the show. I mean, that's probably his greatest role. And
we have a Funko Pop. We have a Funko Pop of him laying down.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Dr. Malcolm.
I got your next Christmas present, Jeff.
There you
That's
go.
what you're getting.
Yeah, I love Spielberg's horror though. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jaws. You know,
Jaws. Yeah, God. Spielberg. Yeah, all the Spielbergs.
When he does horror, man.
Yeah,
you know,
love it.
Did you like Duel? Did you like Duel?
Yeah,
have you seen Duel? Yeah,
love.
That's another.
And that's a genre
that's one of our favorite subgenres. Is the you see it in Duel, The Hitcher, which is another
Road Games.
Road Games.
Road Games and The Hitcher. Yeah,
Hitcher. I should have mentioned that's top 10 for me. Rutger Hauer but Breakdown with Kurt Russell, which whole genre of sort of lost or stalked or car broken down, middle of the desert. We love that subgenre. That's one where one of our ideas, one of the ideas that we're cooking right now is one of those.
Oh,
we want
sweet.
A dream of ours is to add to that subgenre bring a fresh twist to it, because those it really starts with Duel. So love.
Nice. I feel like Breakdown is forgotten. You know, I feel like it's an underrated movie.
Oh my!
Totally underrated.
It's so lean and good, and Kurt Russell is freaky. So good in it.
Yeah. That mane, that Kurt Russell mane is like it doesn't get almost, you know,
nothing better. Kurt Russell, the dude he was rocking from, it was basically Pliskin, right?
Pliskin
on, or did it start with the thing? But like Pliskin all the way to like 90.
Yeah.
I think he lost it on Love Letters. Another phenomenal movie too. Another great thriller from the 90s. But
nice.
Yeah, Breakdown is super underrated.
Yeah, it is. You guys have some great picks already of some of your favorites. Those are awesome picks. But I have to ask you before we move on. I have to ask you, Darren, first. Lost Boys remake thoughts.
Ooh. All right.
Should we please?
Let's get real. Listen,
remakes period. No,
you know, after the experience of the Retaliators, it's funny. Like I have a hard time hating on any movie getting made. So listen, God bless if they're if it's still getting made. I haven't read anything on it in a while. I wish them the best of luck. That being said, you know,
it's tough, right?
It's tough, you know, and I'm not, and it's not even like I have this hard line of like you can never reboot or you can never.
Hills Have Eyes has a great.
Hills Have Eyes.
That was great.
Hills Have Eyes. I would argue you could argue the remake is as good, if not better, than the original.
I enjoy it more than the original. You know, I still love it.
Yeah, and so that's a really good example of they took the absolute. If you would have sanitized Hills Have Eyes and tried to remake it, it would have been horrendous. But what Aja did was really get into the grit and the
lean into it.
Leaned in hard like the first one did. It was a real homage, I felt like, in the best of ways. And the first one wasn't super cast driven. And I think that's where you run into problems is it's like there, you know, The Hitcher had that problem too. When they rebooted it, you knew going in, when Rutger Hauer gives a performance like he gives in The Hitcher, you can't recreate that. That's like, you know, it's in genre world.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent to going, well, now follow Brando and redo On the Waterfront. It's
Right.
in genre terms. And so the problem with The Lost Boys, first and foremost, is like, of course, the first thing I did was look at the cast and look. The only cast member I knew was the actor from It, and I thought he was great in it. Loved it. Another example of a reboot that I was totally behind and loved. But how do you replace Kiefer Sutherland? Not to beat that horse again, but it's like, and
even
really,
like the Corey Feldman
and really just the charm that movie captures, a charm there that
it is.
There's no way that was so singular. What Joel Schumacher went for, combined with Richard Donner as the unspoken hero with Lost Boys. You know, people always focus on Joel Schumacher, who visually obviously did so many phenomenal things with that movie, but you know, old Dick Donner, man, he was. I mean, he had the magic sauce coming off of Goonies and Lethal Weapon, and even going back to Superman. I mean, he knew how to, and that's what's so interesting about that movie. It feels like Goonies, but it also feels like edgy, an edgy horror at the same time. So I just don't think, I think there's certain movies that the second you say remaking them, you just go, no. Back to the Future, another one. It's too singular, in all those
of its time too.
Yeah.
Especially
my favorite is Big Trouble in Little China. They've been trying to remake Big Trouble in Little China for like 10 years now. And I'm just like, you can't remake that movie.
No.
You could maybe do like what Top Gun did, and like, just make it a sequel, maybe a direct sequel to the first.
Well, but see, that's the thing, is that the difference with Top Gun is you've got Top Gun was I know both of us are big fans of Top Gun Maverick. I think
amazing.
Phenomenal.
10 out of 10.
And I think what they did so well, which very few reboots do, and it had an advantage even over some of the more successful ones, is you've got the singular casting of Tom Cruise, so you still have that. They paid very good sort of service to the universe. The whole movie revolved around what was established in the Top Gun universe, and then they were able to craft a new story too, and really take the stunts and all the things they did with the planes to another whole other level that you can't get in watching the original Top Gun at all. The Top Gun, the original, in rewatching it, I was like, this is just totally nostalgia. There's no, for me, because I was so little when I saw that. It's a strange movie. It's a strangely edited and put together movie, but I find it super entertaining. But it's that's one I can't imagine watching without the nostalgia in my brain for it.
Right. But yeah, you guys are both correct. Like, Top Gun Maverick was a masterpiece, but it was one of those, like I said in my review for it, it shouldn't exist. Like this, I feel like it's a fluke. Because of all the 5 billion years later, let's sequel a classic, or our popular IP, and it's good. It's usually it doesn't happen. So
no.
Yeah, I went back and saw it. I think 4 times. I've seen it 4 times in the theater.
Oh, wow.
I got like a little obsessed with it. Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
Hairs were going up on my hand, when I was, because they was like, holy shit, real planes, real stunts, holy shit.
Well, that's what's so fun about it. Them taking it to that level.
Tom Cruise is still my favorite movie star, I'd say.
He's a great movie star.
I mean, he just proved it again with that.
Yeah.
And then we got Mission Impossible next year. I mean, it's another film that blew me away as a kid. I was like 10 years old when I saw that in the theater.
De Palma,
the De Palma one.
So good.
I've always said that's
another franchise you didn't think was going to keep going. and getting
no.
better and better. You know,
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. Yeah, man, I could talk to you guys about movies all day, but I don't want to keep you too much because we got to get to the Retaliators, man. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
yeah.
Jeff, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I just gotta throw, if we're talking about just favorite films and horror film, I gotta throw shout out to Terminator, because Terminator 2: Judgment Day is my favorite film of all time, and I think Terminator is like right under it. Love.
It's
Terminator.
a classic. It's a classic. It's always been a long debate. Which one is better, Terminator or Terminator 2, or you have Alien or Aliens? It's always like that, right? But the thing is it's a great debate because they're both amazing movies. Like it's like it's
I
okay.
know.
There's
It
no
really-
there's no loser.
There's
No.
no losing.
loser.
It really turns into what tone are you in the mood for, because they're just both of them have the and it's interesting too, because in both cases the first ones had a very dark, sinister,
more slasher.
Terminator 1 has more of a feeling of horror mixed into it, whereas T2 not really, more just amazing action.
Similar difference to Aliens, you know.
Yeah, then Alien to Aliens, same thing. I mean, that's too hard to debate, you know, because Alien.
You're disrespecting somebody if you pick one. That's what it feels like.
It's too hard. It's too hard. I can't choose between those two.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But yeah, there's no loser in those situations.
Yeah.
But let's get to. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, just one more. Just Alien.
Hey,
Alien
we're having
Covenant.
fun here, man. Take your time. There's no rush.
I know it's controversial, but don't let the bed bite. That's all I'm saying. Alien Covenant is one of my favorite.
Oh wow!
Recent horror.
Didn't see it. Look
at that.
A lot of people do that one, but I love it. I'll champion that thing to my death.
Wow! Look at that.
I'll die on that hill.
Is there any films, Darren, that you love but everybody else hates?
Oh man, you
probably got some good ones.
I probably have an endless amount because I love good movies, but I love bad movies as much as I love good movies. If not, I put it this way: I watch way more bad movies than I watch good movies.
Too. Yes.
For fun.
It's
not just like, oh man, I just put myself through this pain. It's genuinely enjoyable.
I genuinely enjoy it, and then I also really feel like I learn a lot every time. I just feel like, especially as a writer, I constantly am. Oh, that's why that doesn't work. Okay. Oh, that's geez. When you combine that, that's not, So I feel like it constantly feeds my brain with.
You're learning, as you go.
Yeah, when we write, when my brain gets on the page, I truly am going, okay, how do we make this not bad? What do we need to cut out to fix that?
Yeah.
Okay, so a movie that I love, everyone hates. Oh boy. Oh God, I'm looking up at I got all the VHS over here. Boy. Oh, okay, got one. This is probably the Godfather of bad movies that everyone hates. I love Ishtar.
I have not seen it. I've heard about it. I heard it's bad.
Well,
I haven't seen it either, actually.
Okay, so Ishtar is very, very notoriously on a lot of the worst movies of all time list, but my argument.
Dustin Hoffman.
It's Dustin Hoffman, Warren Beatty, and what got so much hype was at a time when the budgets started being really scrutinized and reported upon and kind of obsessed upon in the press. And so it was a notorious bomb because of the budget at the time and then how much money it made. And so I think that is what mostly, I think people remember that, and then it sort of just maintains its horrendous reputation. I actually think the opening, especially the beginning, it's with the scenes with Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty trying to write music and write songs. As a songwriter, I always just found it just to be some of the funniest, most accurate ridiculousness of when you are writing songs. You look really silly, you sound silly, especially if you're doing it with someone else. And I just felt like they nailed that. And, you know, I don't know. It's just a movie I love, and everyone on earth hates it. So, yeah, that's probably my most
Well, now you
controversial.
got Samurai Curious. I might have to watch it one day. You know, we have a series here on the channel called "Is It Really That Bad?"
Oh,
so you know, if I watch it and I like it, I'll reach out to you, man. We'll do an episode and talk about it.
Let's do it.
But
let's do it.
Yeah.
I can get into that. I can get into that forever. And we have a couple friends that feel the same way. There's a few of us out there that love it, but it is fun. It's on every list, and I think it's it's, you know, its reputation is a little stronger than how, you know, flawed.
Yeah, I mean, just because it financially fails doesn't mean it was a bad movie. You know, there's movies that make billions of dollars and they're terrible.
Right.
So,
and then you have your Blade Runners where, you know, not appreciated at all in the box office, but obviously became
definitely
huge classics.
Stuff like that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we did Is It Really That Good Blade Runner episode. So we do that too here. So you guys are always welcome for our little series on the side. And there's another series.
Huh? So we're down to talk flicks anytime. So
there's another series I think you guys will probably love the most, and our followers that watch the channel are begging for me because I took a break from it from a while, but it's called Versus. And we put two movies against each other, and we talk about the good, what we liked, what we didn't like about both movies. And at the end, we vote.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. We do that all the time. So
okay, cool. Yeah. I'll reach out to you guys for sure for when Versus comes back. Yeah,
let's do it.
But yeah, let's get into the Retaliators, man. Again, congratulations on all the positive feedback I've been seeing. People that enjoy the film. I mean, look at all that love. And you know, winning all these awards. I mean, has this been overwhelming for you guys in a good way?
No, if I told you the amount of times that Jeff and I have looked at each other and gone, "What the fuck? How is this happening? And how did this happen? And how?" I mean, so many times, and to this day it still feels that way. We had no idea if people, when we wrote the script, we knew we broke a few rules. We had fun with it, and we had a real vision that was completely to amuse ourselves, and I feel
like that was a huge key of it. It was, you know, we were always just trying to entertain each other, you know what I mean? And just say, "Oh, what about this idea?" You know, Darren, you bring me pages, I'd be like, "Oh, that's badass." You know, what if you did this? And
what I love about the trailer is that when you only watch the trailer, you think you know what movie you're going to see, and the sort of the secrets and the sort of underneath aren't revealed in the trailer. So I always get a kick out of, you know, we've had such positive reaction to the trailer. That's been overwhelming as well. There's been quite a few that have said, "Oh, great, you just showed us the whole movie. Now I don't need to see it." And what's great is,
I didn't get that vibe at all.
You don't know. It's kept secret what actually happens and what's actually going on. And we very purposely sort of, you know, said we want to make like the first 2/3 this slow burn thriller, kind of mystery thriller, and then go absolute batshit in the third act, but have it be justified and have it feel cathartic, you know, so because it was such a weird kind of form. I mean, we literally, when we sent the film got sent to press, when we got into our first festival, and we were shocked we got into one festival, which was Fright Fest, one of the biggest in the world. And so we were like, oh my gosh. And then our reviews were embargoed for like 30 days.
Oh, okay.
So we had no idea what anyone thought of anything. And it was fun. I always laugh with Jeff. We went out to lunch the day before we knew all the reviews were coming out. And it was the same day our movie was playing at Fright Fest in London. And we went out to lunch, and I was giving Jeff a pep talk. I was like, Jeff, now just know we're probably going to wake up to, you know how horror goes. We're going to get ravaged by the critics. They're going to say this is the dumbest thing they've ever seen and the worst thing they've ever seen. And we're going to, people are so brutal with horror, as we know. Exactly. Right. Yeah. We all,
because I was much greener than, my background wasn't as, you've already been through this all in Hollywood. This is my first foray into Hollywood, seriously. Yeah. So I was,
That is what you're showing. Yeah. That is how people treat genre films.
They do.
Yeah. And that's our we are such passionate genre.
We're so bad.
We are. If you keep doing that, I'm not going to be able to talk because it's too cool. I love it.
There are movies that we love that we have seen enough bad reviews of. We were like, he was basically giving me the pep talk of like,
I was like,
get ready.
Get ready. We're going to get brutalized. And I said, look, we're proud of what we did. And I said, I go, if one person connects to it, if 5 people, 10 people, that's all that matters. If we were able to connect with somebody, we look what we did. We were able to get a movie made and have it connect with a few people that might have our deep, crazy love for genre cinema. And, and so that was how we went to sleep that night. And when we woke up, and it was like, I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, all this positive reviews. And then we got,
Jackie Chan approves, bro. Jackie Chan approves.
Right, Jackie. Yeah.
No, but I remember you sat me down and you shared it with me. And I remember you thinking like, is there something wrong with me? Because I was just staring at him like, what?
Jeff couldn't talk. I mean, Jeff was in complete
I had to take
shock.
a drive.
Yeah, Jeff had to take a drive.
He was
like, I'm going to take a drive. I'll be back in a little bit. And when he got back, I said, Jeff, are you okay? Because the other news that we got was that the film festival reached out to us and said, you guys have the crowd pleaser of the festival. And we were like, what? Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was it. And they sent us a clip of the audience in the very, very end of the third act. And they were screaming at the screen and laughing, and we were just like, whoa. I mean, it really was unbelievable. And then, we ended up getting into, I think we clocked in at, it was either right at or right under 30 film festivals in worldwide in many countries. And then we started getting nominations and winning awards, and we went to screen that. Man, you're good, Samurai.
I know,
none of this was for
Thank you.
No, you are. Yeah,
this was for makeup, right? You won this for best makeup?
special effects makeup, which being genre guys and horror guys. I mean that. I remember being on the set, Jeff and I looking at how good the work was, how good the practical effects were. We were obviously huge in driving the practical. And so we have these phenomenal teams. And we were watching it on the set and going, it's so hard because it's your movie. So we were so proud of it. And it was like, gosh, this looks really good. But to be recognized by a genre fest like Scream Fest for makeup. I mean, that was just so just rewarding. It was so amazing.
Well, this trophy is fucking badass. Like this is,
Yes.
that is awesome. It's metal. It's metal.
Yes,
Very
yes.
metal.
Again, I'm very happy for you guys' success with the film. And just quick question: is there a soundtrack coming out?
Oh man, is there?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a huge soundtrack coming out.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what I can talk about that's announced, but there is.
Well, one thing for sure, we didn't get John Denver, unfortunately.
No, we
for the
did. We
soundtrack.
tried for two of his tracks, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely want to tell you the story of how the movie got made, and we'll come to how all of these insane bands. And by the way, that's not even all of the bands. I mean, we have more than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then a big surprise band that isn't, or I won't say anymore, but there's coming very shortly in the next few days, a very big single is going to drop, and I'm so excited for it. So, that the way the bands all came into the fold to have, because they have cameos in the film, they have small parts in the actual movie, and what's really really satisfying to see in the film is that there's been many horror movies. There's been multiple horror movies where rock stars have cameos, right? And they kind of walk on and walk off, right? What's really special about the Retaliators is that the roles that these guys have, they're fantastic in these roles.
Nice.
They
really are.
They put everything into these performances, and some of them are they're all. Here's what the goal was. The goal was, if you didn't know these bands, you would watch the film, and those would just be great actors in the film, like every other performance in the film, because we are so spoiled with the performances we got in the film.
Nice.
I mean, we are beyond
really
with
beyond.
all of the actors. But the bands, what's so great is it never feels like here's a cameo of somebody walking in and doing bad
up the screen.
bad take.
Right.
It all feels organic.
Absolutely.
In our opinion, and that's the feedback we've gotten. Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach.
I know.
I
was like, what?
Wait till you see him in this performance. I mean,
phenomenal.
He has moments that, especially with my acting background, like where I'm like, wow, just he's really good in it, and it's subtle, and it's just it's creepy, and Ivan from Five Finger is fantastic in the movie. He's just fantastic, and the whole band. They're I mean, we're and then we got, of course, Spencer Charnas. He is great, and again, if you didn't know, and obviously so many people love Spencer Charnas and Ice Nine Kills, but if you were watching and didn't know that's who it was, he would be this dark, sort of creepy, sordid character that comes in at that part of the film, and it would, so it's very
they nailed it. They nailed it. That's what I'm talking about.
They nailed it. Yeah, very proud of that.
Very proud.
Nice. Well, let's have some fun here. Let's watch the trailer again together, and you guys can give your commentary. And if there's any behind-the-scenes stories in the background, we know that. Let me do some screen share action. Hold on, give me a second.
Might have to talk to my lawyer first. Hang on.
There we go. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and I turned the sound down so we can hear you guys' commentary.
Great.
But yeah, man, right off the bat, I was like, man, I'm sold on this movie. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so starting off, you know, you've got Michael Lombardi, who, first of all, gives a performance in this movie that I just could not be any more stoked on and proud of. He is so good in this film, and
nobody else could have done this role
like he,
at all.
you know,
I mean, it was made for him.
He got several. He got nominations outside of genre festivals and won awards outside of genre festivals for his performance in this. He just, yeah, there you go, man. You are freaking good. Yeah, Orlando. You know, it's not even a genre festival, and he won Best Actor. That was
Awesome.
such a proud moment for us because you know, he plays John Bishop, and he is he's the lead in the film. He's the heartbeat of the film, and the character arc in this movie, the roller coaster he goes on, it's spectacular. You are with him the whole time. It was such a razor's edge because if he would have if that performance would have not been what it was, I think the movie just wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
and then just to throw out there too, not only that, but he was the producer of the film who led this film through really crazy turbulence because right after we started shooting, COVID broke out. And we had to navigate through multiple directors, multiple coasts, shutdowns. We had to get we were shut down in multiple cities, and Michael led the troops, the crew, everything, figured it out, and he even ended up directing about 20% of the movie himself, and absolutely slayed it. So I just could not say enough about what our partnership with him and us, connecting with him, and just can't say enough. So anyway, sorry. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. It kind of reminds me of Tombstone. I don't know if you guys heard about the classic movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell, how Kurt Russell kind of had to take over and directed the rest of that movie.
No way.
I just read about that, actually. Yeah.
But he still gave George P. Cosmatos director's credit, but he had to take over, and a lot of the cast members were having issues with George. Val Kilmer was thinking about walking, like it was a disaster. And Kurt had to pep talk everyone and say, look, we can do this. Let's make a good movie. And Kurt basically took over.
It's so funny that you say that. I did not know that. Tombstone, another one of our all-time favorites. And what's funny is we watched it recently. I hadn't seen it in a long time. And that movie feels like, the third act of that movie feels like a grindhouse Western.
Oh, totally.
It is so balls out, so violent.
I think I'm watching one of the Death Wishes or something.
Yeah, man, that movie. Boy, what a movie. What a movie.
Yeah.
Classic. So we have our main character here is the man of the Lord. And he has his church, and he's got his daughter. And man, once I saw this, I forgot his name at the time, so I'm gonna make sure I don't botch it. But yeah, big shout out to Joseph Gatt, and that's the albino son from Banshee. I was like, holy shit, it's albino, man.
Yeah, and I want to shout out too. That's Katie Kelly, who is
also phenomenal,
absolutely fantastic in this movie. She is I saw her. We watched the movie she did before this, called Snow Babies.
Yeah,
and her performance in that. Oh. I remember I called
heart-wrenching.
I called Michael and I said, "This is like Meryl Streep Jr. over here."
Wow.
Her acting. So her role in this is it's a crucial, obviously, to the story. You can gather from the trailer, and she is absolutely just so fantastic in this. And then Joseph Gatt, just so scary.
So menacing. Just
did he just walk in and give this look and he got the part?
You know, it's funny because the role was written to be the character's name is Ram Katie, and the way we had described him in the script, we literally wanted it to be like the Terminator, just like is there a soul behind the eyes? The instant you see the person, you are sort of like you feel the intimidation in a moment. So the funny thing was the second we saw Joseph's work, and that, you know, and when he got the role, it was so beyond a no-brainer. It was just like yeah. And
it looks like the audience enjoyed his performance too. It looks like right there.
He is incredible in the movie. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, he's badass. He's badass for sure. Let's keep it going here. Were there any location issues or any problems behind the scenes behind besides, you know, the coof?
Yeah, the location, you know, the locations we got were amazing. We got the production value, you'll really see it in this movie. So honestly, you know, as far as locations went, as far as what we got, what we looked for, we put a lot of time and attention into that. And the producers and the crew just did such a phenomenal job on that. The main issues were all COVID related. It was all the travel was a nightmare. This was at the very, very, very beginning of all of so tests were thousands of dollars, and travel was horrible, and people had to cancel, and again we had to switch coasts, and we changed directors, and it became incredibly difficult chaos. But what was great was the locations all none of them suffered. We made sure that we fought through until we had all locations that worked, and that was Michael leading the production through all of that.
Go ahead, Michael. Do your thing, brother. You know, I didn't mention this. I don't think I mentioned this during my trailer reaction, but I really enjoyed the cinematography of this movie, man.
Yeah, I got a shout out to Joe Hennigan.
Joe Hennigan, our DP.
Great guy. Phenomenal, just talent.
We're
spoiled.
Spoiled. Spoiled with the music, with the score, with the acting, as I said. And Joe Hennigan, his cinematography in this is absolutely incredible. I mean, we would watch dailies and go, "Oh my God, this is lit." I mean, he captures this like David Fincher, just beautiful. But there's grit and grime in there, but yet there's it's just gorgeously lit and staged, and even in our simplest of locations, you feel a lot of depth. It feels very cinematic, which was.
I mean, look at this shot. I mean, dude, that's a great shot right there.
Yes, yeah.
Look at all the love. And this was giving me a little bit of a I Saw the Devil vibe too.
Yeah,
I love that you shouted that out. We didn't mention that as one of our favorites. We didn't mention it.
That's a definite top 10 horror all time.
Right?
Love that movie.
Absolutely. Well, that and I love Old Boy too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I Saw the Devil. I think
Old Boy's fantastic. But I Saw the Devil definitely in the DNA of this movie for sure. Because what we loved. Again, I just being such genre fans, I always just appreciate somebody that comes in to one of the classic genres and just does a really, really cool twist.
Oh yeah.
I Saw the Devil took revenge and put it on steroids, and it was so dark and gritty, and the acting in that movie is so good. So yeah, that movie, when we were writing it, we were definitely like, okay, what can we do to not copy it, but raise the bar in a different way, and so it was definitely a big inspiration for us. I love that film.
See, you guys are my peeps. Now I know we're talking through the trailer here, and you're giving your commentary, which is awesome. But I know it's hard to avoid spoilers, because I personally I don't want things to be spoiled for me. I want to see it and love the movie, and I want everybody that watches this, I want them to see the movie. So I know we got to do our best to avoid spoilers, but the actor here, Mark, can you talk a little bit about him without giving away too much? His
character. Yeah, he plays Jed. It's Mark Menchaca, who is absolutely incredible in this role. When we were writing the script, we would impersonate voices to amuse ourselves.
It was just
and when we heard Mark Menchaca, I got sent a tape.
Yeah, because he wasn't on my radar. I didn't see Ozark.
I had seen Ozark, but I got sent a tape of him talking on Ozark and on, it was something else. I don't remember what it was. And I literally I drove over to Jeff and I said, dude, listen to this voice. And when we heard his voice, I mean, it was like, oh my God, that was Jed. That was the character we had impersonated without knowing we were impersonating. He's got a phenomenal voice. So this character, without giving a spoiler, too many spoilers away, he comes to, he is a detective that comes to John, and he is working on the case trying to solve his daughter's murder. And he offers him an opportunity. We'll call it a unique opportunity. And we don't know yet, but we will learn about his sort of, he has a mysterious past. And,
okay.
And there are layers to the Jed character that I think people just won't see coming. And it's not in like, we are not fans of like gotcha twists, you know. I feel like those have kind of, I don't want to say seen their day forever. I'm sure it never fails. You once in a while, like, oh wow, that was actually a good twist movie or twist ending. But you know, I think what we like a little more is sort of, instead of just everything you've been watching is now upside down, like, that just feels sort of old and kind of hacky at this point, because there's just been, it's like, how do you top Sixth Sense? How do you top Usual Suspects? And how do you top, there's been these iconic examples. So what we're real big fans of is sort of left turns, you know, instead of complete turnaround, sort of
dark alleys
unfolding. Where else could this go and take you to a new place? And so that's sort of, without giving anything away, that is the Jed piece of this film. From the trailer, you only get a piece of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's,
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. We meant to do a video on it, but you know, conflicting schedules is going to be hard to do it. But we've seen two movies. It was unplanned. We've seen two films back to back. We were just in the mood, and we watched a movie called The Black Butterfly with Antonio Banderas, and then right after that, we watched another movie called Cold in July. And it was funny because they were both suspense films, and one movie was how to do suspense right, and the other movie was how to fuck it all up. And it blew our minds because we weren't planning on, like, let's watch both of these suspense movies. We're just like, all right, let's watch this other one. And Cold in July, I highly recommend you guys watch that. That is phenomenal.
Is
Watch
that the
that.
one? Is that the one with Dexter?
Yes. You may have seen it already.
I think. Oh God, why am I not remembering his name? I love
Don
him.
Johnson's in there. Don Johnson.
Don Johnson's in
Oh,
there.
I love
dude.
Don Johnson.
Yeah, Don Johnson.
You know what? I need to see it again. I saw it back when it came out. I remember I really liked it, but for whatever reason, I don't remember it. It might have just been one of those I was exhausted watching it and passed out or something. But I remember really liking it, so I'll watch it again for sure.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of what's his name? The guy that plays Dexter. Can't think of his name, but he's phenomenal. Huge
Michael
Dexter fan.
Something.
And Kurt Russell's son is in the movie as well. He's got a small part.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of him, but
But Black Butterfly had a misery vibe to it. And
interesting.
Everything was fine. Performances was great. Script was great. Everything was going good. I was enjoying the movie. And then the movie decided not just to have a twist, it decided to have 3.
Ooh.
And by the 3rd twist, we both turned, me and my wife both turned to the TV. We were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It just
fuck this
cheap,
movie.
right? A bad twist feels like a cheat. It's unearned.
You know, it's funny. We just watched
reintroducing new characters. Scream 4 did. I don't ask why I watched it, but I watched Scream 4 recently, and I thought it was the same thing. It's like, why?
Yeah,
whodunit films do that too.
There's certain twists that it's so a film has the audience in their hands so much that anybody can just hide many things and do kind of trickery to just sort of for the sake of it. And that's why the greats, you feel like they're earned, and you feel. We were just watching, hadn't seen it. Jeff had never seen it, and I showed him Death Trap. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Which one?
It's Ira Levin wrote it, so he's the guy that wrote Rosemary's Baby, Stepford Wives.
Okay.
It was an Ira Levin play. It stars Michael Caine. It's 80. I want to say it's 82. Somewhere between 80 and 82. It's Michael Caine. It's Christopher Reeve.
Oh shit!
Are the 2 main stars. And first of all, the acting is a absolute tour de force. Obviously for Michael Caine, because he's the man. But Christopher Reeve is unbelievable in this movie. His acting is phenomenal. But my point is, there are some phenomenal twists in it. And one of the things I really liked about how they did, and I won't, without giving anything away, because anybody that hasn't seen it needs to go see Death Trap, rent it. What I liked, the twist was halfway through. And so then the movie kind of shifts. So again, it's almost that left turn thing, rather than everything you've just been watching is now not what you've been watching. So it's
Yeah, that's Black Butterfly. That's what, that's what that movie was.
Now you got me intrigued. I
gotta see how it goes on.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm on board in terms of, left turn, definitely better than let's have 5,000 twists just to have twists. And maybe if those twists were actually good, like it was actually good payoff, maybe we wouldn't mind 3 or 4 or 5.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
It was. There he is, right there, right? That's Jacoby, right?
That's Jacoby, man.
Yeah.
What a scene that is. He's so good.
Yeah, look, man.
So good.
So obviously it doesn't go well for our boy's daughter here.
No,
and I was already intrigued when he was like, "I got him." I was like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Great. Look at that cinematography. It's good shit.
I know. We're so nice.
I love that.
Well, and look at and all of that. I mean, that again with the locations. When you look at all the underground and the lighting down there and the depth. I mean, it's incredible.
Ooh.
Nice. getting compared to
7 Death Wish.
Death Wish.
Yeah.
The Death Wish was we were particularly tickled on that one because we are the biggest Charles Bronson fans on the planet. I mean, I'm obsessed.
Yeah,
we're both obsessed with many Charles Bronson movies. So to see the Death Wish, and then obviously Tarantino being, you know, I mean,
right.
Can't say enough great
I
things
mean,
about
yeah,
him,
I mean,
but-
I had, you know, Reservoir Dogs poster on my wall when I was young, you know. So I
saw Pulp Fiction when I was probably a little too young. I might have been like 11 or 12. Me and my buddy, and you know that scene where they walk in with the gimp and stuff. We were like, "What the fuck?" This is the craziest fucking movie we've ever.
Well, talk
seen.
about Tarantino is actually the kind of the perfect example of the left turns, the right turns, instead of everything's upside down. You're now we're now going here. And really in all of his films, and that's that unfolding thing, you know, that's which is very much how we it entertains us when we're writing a script, is to go, let's see where we can continually, you know, take the audience to, you know, give the familiar tropes. The attempt that we try is to give the familiarity and the tropes that are going to get you psyched and get you pumped and get you, you know, that sort of adrenaline rush you get in a good genre film. But then at the same time, how can we also subvert it? How can we do something unique? Where can we take things? And so, it's, but So,
and I know that this might be blasphemy to some fans of Bronson, but I'm going to go ahead and say Death Wish 4 Crackdown is my favorite of the of the 5.
Well, 3 is mine. Man. 3 is mine, but
I was talking about 3 today. It's batshit.
3 is mine, but 4 is legit though. 4 is good.
4 is good.
Jeff was talking about 4 today with me, and I said, dude, you got to watch 3. It is the
I haven't seen 3,
insane.
so maybe I don't have a valid opinion on it. But at least between 1 and 4, I'm going to say 4.
Harsh Times. We just watched Harsh Times again. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. We watched Harsh Times a couple of months ago, and that was a great movie. But is it Harsh Time? Hard Times? Harsh Times.
Hard Times. Yeah.
Thank you. Harsh Times.
Harsh Times is Christian Bale movie. Hard Time. How amazing! How amazing is Hard Time? I mean, just absolutely.
James
phenomenal.
Coburn was great in it.
But
we just watched. I need you Bronsonites to help me out here because I forgot the name. I'm fired. I forgot the name, but I just watched a Bronson movie where he was rescuing Robert Duvall out of prison. What is the name of that one? You know?
Oh, I think that's Breakout.
Breakout. That is a great suspense thriller, and I wish I was recording myself watching the ending because me and my buddy were sitting over here, and my wife was in the kitchen, and we're watching the ending, and I literally screamed. I was stunned. I was like, "Oh my god!" And she came running in. She's like, "What?" Was not expecting brutal, violent airplane propeller death on the bad guy, and he completely shreds the guy.
Have you seen? This is what I was wondering if you were going to say. Have you seen 10 to Midnight?
Oh yeah, I got it on Blu-ray. Love it.
Oh yeah,
that ending is that the first time I saw that ending. I mean, I was laughing so hard because
so good.
You just are. The second the police get there, you go, okay, well, because you want to fucking kill that guy so bad. He's so
well. He's like, the society made me this way, man.
And because the cops are there, you're going, okay, so he's caught, and when Bronson shoots him, I mean,
the cops are like doing nothing, you know.
I mean, that's well, and honestly, like we've had like deep philosophical conversations about writing after watching that movie because it's completely you know, there's so many things that are cheese about the movie, of course. But what I do love about it is that you do not see where it goes. You just, because based on the norms of today, that ending would have never happened.
No.
And then all the way down to like the little things like Bronson, when he got caught tampering in any other movie, what would happen? He'd be hiding it. It would be this suspense about he doesn't want to be found. He gets caught. He's like, yeah, I did it. It's totally. Like he just completely owns it to his partner. I mean, there's just all these little choices in that movie. I love that movie.
I love the fact he just blatantly just walked up to him and shot him in the head. That was fucking great.
It's the best. It's the best.
Also one of the best like interrogation room scenes of all time.
Oh, when he's interrogating him.
You know what you use this for? But check it off. And he's like slamming his head into that.
Oh, it's
like the attorney's there. Like, let's just go on.
The reason it's such a good scene.
So bad.
The reason it's so good is because Bronson is so famously subdued. You know, he's got that very Bronson. You know, he's just always got that subdued badass. And he fucking loses it in that scene. And he really goes there, and it's so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah, I am also a Bronsonite. I love it. I can't get enough. The guy's phenomenal. But let's get back to the trailer here. So, we got toys. We got toys.
Yes. Yes, he does. This is such a good scene here.
Look at him. Look at him go.
Oh man,
he acting, man.
He is.
He gave it everything, man.
There's Ivan. He's fantastic. Robert Nepper, shout out from Prison Break.
Coming up. Yeah. Also, was it Tombstone? I just saw him in a movie.
No, you're thinking of Robert John Burke. Was in Tombstone. He's in this as well.
So he, again, looking at this trailer, so he's got another daughter here and a wife.
No, that is actually not his wife. That's that's his sister, and that is his other daughter. He's a single dad, raising the two daughters. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look at this. I see what you're saying now. Just well casted as these people, just as these characters, these thugs, these dudes you probably don't want to mess with.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess with them.
Young Guns 2. I think it was Young Guns 2 was Robert.
Yes,
Neppert,
Robert Neppert. Yes. Look at the chewed up ear.
Oh, let me go back there.
Blasted.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. So this is where I started to get more excited with the trailer. So before I keep playing it here, were there any behind the scenes stories of this throwdown here, man? I mean, look at this shot. This still here. I mean, did you destroy the whole house or just part of it?
I will tell you, the fighting in this movie, the fight scenes, I mean, were a lot of time and attention were put into scripting, a lot of meetings, scripting, going over it, doing lots of rehearsals.
Nice.
We took the fights really serious because we wanted it to be visceral. Bad fights are just so lame. And, a good fight is such a great way to get production value up in a film too, because it just, when it feels realistic and raw. And so the fighting is very raw. There's a lot of destruction. And the actors really went for it and really, beat themselves up. They were going for it in every scene.
I love it. Love it. Love it. And y'all know me and my fight scenes. That's my shit right there, man. I'm like, shit. Sure. But this is a brawl here, man.
Oh yeah.
Look at it. We didn't get a machete. So
look at that. Oh, we got some fight face in here. More fights. Let's go. This is just carnage, man. I am like, but listen, I gotta go back. I gotta see that face again.
My favorite shot's coming up. Oh, yeah.
One. That's my favorite.
Such a good moment. Oh man,
Love it. I love
Michael just crushes it there, and then
carnage. Oh my god.
This shot here is my favorite. Right,
I know which one you're talking
right
about.
there. Yeah. Okay, so if you crack it back, do you see the guy on the floor with no legs?
I'll try to get it if I can. Let me know.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
Right there?
There it is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
holy shit, dude.
He has no arm and he has no legs. And
he's still coming over to fuck him up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. So it's It's and that's a little piece of the real insanity that the movie goes to. That you get a little glimpse. I love it. It's like the second shot to the end, and I love that.
See, look at that! Look at that! I didn't even notice that at first. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So big shout out to everyone that's involved with this film, all the filmmakers, the stunt crew. That's right, everybody that made this happen. I'm gonna get the shout out early. Usually I wait to the end. I'm gonna do it now because you know why? Yeah. Because I'm excited. God damn it! I'm excited. Awesome. I'm gonna do it now. Yes,
I love
it. Of course, shout out to the legendary Geare brothers. That's right. So when you guys get more popular and you get more rich, are you gonna start pronouncing it Geare?
Naturally.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The
Geare. It's the Geare brothers.
The Geare brothers.
Oh, I'm just messing with you. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. But yeah, man, I am sold.
Good, man.
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's a bad joke. You gotta let when the bad jokes come, you gotta let them just fly by.
Edit that one out.
Oh, I gotta. When the bad jokes come, I gotta just go back to this then and just start clicking.
Yeah. Thank you. You know what, Sarah? I need that. Yes. I need these with me at all times with this guy because the bad jokes they do. He's been very subdued. He's been
have been a little bit.
Yeah, he's been subdued. He's been keeping it at a low simmer, which is good.
Yeah.
Oh man, well I am excited again for the Retaliators. I can't wait to check it out when it comes out September 14th, y'all. That's how we roll. Also keep an eye out for the soundtrack. Samurai's gonna be listening to that now every day when I'm driving around doing my shit. And I gotta ask, I see you also have merch. You have shirts, right? Where can they buy where can they buy t-shirts at?
Retaliatorsmovie.com. It's important because there you can get merch, and the other big thing is pre-sale tickets for the movie goes on sale August 5th. There are some pre-sale you can do right now through Regal and Cinemark. But global pre-sale launches on August 5th. So that's we got to get all the troops out to get the more pre-sale we get, the longer we can stay in theaters. So the goal is to get the word of mouth going. And what I can say very confidently is it is a movie that plays really fun in a theater. We finally got to see it in front of an audience at Screamfest, and it really was like that rock concert vibe. In the third act, it was a lot of screaming at the screen and cheers and laughs, and it gets really wild in the last act. So yeah, you gotta see it in the theater. So again, pre-sale, retaliatorsmovie.com, and then we've got some amazing merch. That's one of the shirts that's up there now. We're gonna have there's gonna be a bunch more coming as well. And
do you have size 6X?
Well, Samurai, we are going to make sure
we'll custom that shit for you.
Buddy. We will.
All right, woohoo! Because I'll wear the shirt. I will represent. But yeah, just like you were saying, it's a crowd pleaser, and I got that vibe from it when I watched the trailer for the first time. I got that vibe like I have to watch this with my friends. Like I got to call up my homies. We got to go to the theater. We got to watch this together. You know what I mean?
So it needed to be fun, and entertaining. That was our one rule.
Well, and
let's just be entertaining.
And it's very cathartic for us too, because I'm not even. Are you familiar, Samurai, with the origin story of the film, where the idea came from, the personal story?
Oh no,
it's actually based. Okay, no, it's actually inspired by some real life events that happened in our family, actually. So so basically, try to do a nutshell on this. Our sister was we're two of 7 kids altogether. So our younger sister, when she was still a teenager, was actually attacked, and she was the victim of a really brutal attack. She was tackled down a 20-foot ravine, walking home from a friend's house a block away. She very tragically was raped and beaten and basically almost killed. She is such a fighter. She is such a strong person. She fought and survived. And that kind of attack, random, middle of the night, brutal stranger attack, like the odds of surviving that are just in the very, very small. She survived the attack, thank God. The guy wasn't caught. He cut to years later, through advancements in DNA, they caught him, and they caught him trying to do this to someone else.
Good.
And he was caught. Went through a long trial, and thankfully was the happy ending. There's a few happy endings here. One is he was convicted, put away for 23 years, which is going to make him pretty old by the time he comes up for parole. So we're pretty sure he'll die in prison, which is good. The other and most important part of the good news is our sister went on to become very successful. She's one of the few fire captains in the United States, female fire captains. And so what's during the trial, when I was, having conversations with my dad, he would get back from days at the trial, and it was very brutal to have to go through all of the details. One time when I hung up the phone with him, this is where that idea came from that Jeff was talking about. It was a underground service for family of crime victims. Just quick blurt, just wrote it out, and then the Retaliators just came, and I just wrote it down. We were a little trepidatious of even. One of the reasons I put that idea away at the time was because would it be appropriate? Would our sister be behind it? Does it make sense? So what's funny is our sister came to me one day and said, Darren, I don't care how, I just want my name and I want my story out. And is there any way? And so then I told her I said, well, look, there's no way I could tell your story. I couldn't live in that for, it'd be too much trauma. I said, but, I've got this idea. Jeff and I have been talking, and would we have your blessing to take the inspiration of your story, write a script? Anyway, she said, please. She said, get my name out there if you ever have the opportunity. So her name is actually Jody Geare. She, really wants to be an inspiration to women for surviving what she did. She went through a lot of years of PTSD and got through it and kind of focused her life in positive directions to get through. So again, very happy ending ultimately with her. Yeah. And then the movie getting made. So here's where serendipity gets really strange with this movie. The first person we sent the script to was Michael Lombardi. And it was coincidentally, he happened to call me on the day that we were starting to get courted because our script was on the blacklist and we were getting all this attention.
Yeah.
He called me, told him about the script. We sent it to him. He was on a plane 3 days later, came down, said, I'm going to help you get this movie made. We're going to get this movie made. I was born to play John Bishop. And the second we saw him, the first words out of Jeff's mouth was, he said, oh my God, I'm looking at John Bishop. And I knew Michael we did some work together years back. We did a music project together. So he's calling me completely out of the blue. Well, here's the crazy serendipity. Jody was in her recovery during her PTSD. One of her number one ways of dealing with her trauma was watching Rescue Me on a loop, because watching the firefighters dealing with their PTSD and their life problems gave her comfort. Well, Michael Lombardi, star along with Dennis Leary, star of Rescue Me, and that was her favorite character. I didn't know how profound that was for her or for her recovery. So once Michael learned of her story, he was already passionate, and then he just became extremely driven to have this all
get it made.
Get it made. Wow. So what was incredible was at Screamfest, Jody traveled down, watched the film for the first time, and got to meet Michael Lombardi for the first time. And it was an incredibly cathartic experience because we ultimately were able to, take a really, really horrifying, tragic event and channel it into some positivity. Obviously you can never undo the horrors of what she went through, but that is where the heartbeat of the revenge kind of fantasy that is underneath the film. So the film doesn't tell her story per se, but there are a lot of Easter eggs in there that if you know her story, there's a lot of parallels, and it's where a lot of the crazy stuff comes from in the script. So and then and then Michael, he was the one that brought it to Alan Kovac, which was who owns Better Noise, and he is the manager for all those bands. And so one of the responses we got about our script was it felt very rock and roll. It felt, there was almost a metal vibe to it, even though there's obviously no music when you read a script. And Alan got that and immediately was like, okay, let's figure out a way to incorporate the bands, the soundtrack, and roles in the film. So that vision kind of married with it all, and so now here we are. We've got all these just incredible bands. We have our soundtrack will be out 2 days after the film on September 16th. And
not to mention the Stranger Things composers also did the score for the film.
The Stranger Things composers Kyle
Yeah.
Dixon and Michael Stein
Great
saw
guys.
an early cut of the film and signed on, and it felt just an absolute dream. So they scored our entire film.
Wow.
Their score is unbelievable. It's so good. They did such an amazing job, and literally was the dream for us because we're
well, they asked us, who would you?
Who's your Michael?
Who's your dream?
Michael said, "Who would be your dream?"
Things. Or well, John Carpenter was the first.
I said, well, okay. Here's the dream. John Carpenter, circa, late '70s, early '80s. Tangerine Dream, circa the same time period. That would be the dream. We can't have them. Literally the only people doing it at that level where they really nail that vibe are Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein in my opinion. And what's cool is the score has its throwbacky feel, but it's it's singular. It's not just like, oh, I'm listening to just a take on a John Carpenter score. It really has its own.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like, oh, you took a Stranger Things soundtrack and threw it on. They did something just totally unique for the film, and that was awesome
like
too.
Fake 80s. It doesn't sound like fake 80s.
No. It's got its own vibe. The 80s is obviously it's in there. That you can't. It's in a synth-based score, of course, but that's another big thing. Wanted to shout out. They just did an absolutely incredible job.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Cinematographer, composer, you got the actors, you got the fight scenes, the stunts, the gore, the makeup effects. Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. And I did not know about the backstory or the which helped spawn the film. And I'm really touched by it. You kind of caught me off guard with that, my friend, to be honest. I'm really touched. I'm really touched. Yeah. I'm really touched by the story, and kudos to all of you and everybody involved that took that tragedy and used that story for something positive, and we salute Jody. We salute.
Thank you. Thank you, Samurai.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely.
Samurai.
Well, and it's a real, what feels really, just really satisfying in this moment is really looking at the power of the cathartic powers that art has and that cinema has and TV. When you really look at the through line of Rescue Me, here was a series that literally was a form of therapy for somebody suffering from PTSD, and then film getting made was an extremely cathartic experience for us as a family, and what was really it was a really neat at that screening. Jody was approached that night. We brought her up, and she, it was a sweet moment where she hugged Michael. It was the first time they had met. And Jody kept telling us that people walked up to her all night and said, I was a victim of X and Y, and I'm a survivor from this and that. And this really makes me feel inspired that something positive was actually able to come from it, and we were able to take,
Well, and I also think, there's two ways to respond to tragedy in cinema. It's like, take, for instance, the Holocaust. It's like there's Schindler's List, and then there's Raiders of the Lost Ark. In our movies, like, we're kicking Nazi ass in this movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. This is Raiders.
Or Inglourious Bastards.
Tarantino's
version. Yeah.
Actually, that's a really, really good, analogy of taking something obviously as horrific as it gets, but yet bringing bringing it through the genre treatment, and it's really
exploitation.
It's the only way we could have done it. I told her when she had first called me, I said, well, Lord knows I couldn't make this documentary. I mean, there's no way. I mean, from a trauma element,
Right.
and then also just I couldn't be a fair journalist telling that story, you know, which is obviously it's what a documentary should be, a, you know, some version of an impartial journalist. I couldn't do that with the story. It's too much. So, you know, getting her blessing was key, because if she hadn't, we wouldn't have touched it. It would have just lived in that idea drawer. But yeah, thankfully it's just been this really, really great experience, and yeah, appreciate you.
I can't. I can't wait to see what you guys got cooked up next. You know, I can't wait. But I mean, are you gonna stay in the horror genre, or are you willing to branch out to any genre at some point?
Well, maybe not any genre, but certainly, you know, we're just such huge fans of exploitation films. If it would be another genre, it would still be probably an exploitation film of some, you know, of some type.
What we're our kind of crazy goal, and we touch it. It touches it in Retaliators. I think we accomplish it to at least to a certain degree. Is really like combining a sort of the cinematic kind of, you know, here's what it is. We're very influenced by, you know, sort of, you know, classic Spielberg, but also very influenced by, you know, grimy Grindhouse. So it's like,
I like that.
How can we sort of, how can we kind of marry narratives that are a little more traditional, but then sort of take you to this place. So the next,
like the Spielbergian heart with the like insane exploitation.
Right. It's really
that. I like that.
Yeah, that's sort of where that was sort of our kind of our just our vision of what we wanted to do, and so the scripts we've written since, and we've written now a couple. They explore a little more of sort of, now we kind of go through a different door of crime thriller, but it was a little humor, and then into you know, pretty edgy territory. And then there's one that's a creature feature that sort of plays like a creature feature, a little humorous, but kind of like if you crossed a creature feature with like you know, a Coen Brothers-esque sort of crime thriller kind of thing. And so
you had me at creature feature.
Okay.
Good.
Well, we've got one we're very, very excited about. We're putting our finishing touches on a few right now, and very excited. We've got lots of cool stuff cooking.
Awesome! I can't wait. Have you guys seen Blood Games?
No. What is that?
Check out. You can watch it on Tubi. You can watch it for free on Tubi. But Blood Games blew me away. It was recommended to me, and it blew me away. It was like early '90s or something like that, late '80s, early '90s, and it blew me away because it was about a girls softball team, but they were kind of like, for example, just imagine if like Hooters had their own like sports team that goes out. If you pay money, like, hey Jeff, I paid for the Hooters girls to come over and play basketball with you, kind of thing, right? Like an actual basketball game. So they go out to this. They go out to this small town, and the guy who runs the town pays money for this troop to go out there and to play against his son and their friends. The funny thing is the girls are actually athletic. They're actually real athletes. They're not just there for looks. They can play. So they completely destroy you know, the son and his friends and all that, making them look stupid, you know. And
love it.
Basically it escalates like quickly, like after that. Like the son he tries to rape some of the girls. They try to kill some of the girls. The girls end up fighting back. It's crazy. It is.
Dude,
I didn't
sounds
think.
bad.
I didn't know the
love it.
movie was gonna go that way. Like it
Yeah,
goes
well,
that-
free.
turns,
That's that left. That's
It's
that
not
left
twisting
turn
you at
thing,
the
man.
end.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this guy is really killing everybody. It's like, no, this is
Yeah.
a hard left.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep going down there.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
And
that.
they
Yeah,
fight
that's-
back. They fight back. Blood Games. Highly recommend that one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
watching
one.
it tonight.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Tubi. By the way,
Dude,
I mean,
Yeah,
Tubi got
love
so
it.
much better.
what
Dude.
the hell? I mean, I was
Yeah.
we were talking about the other day. It's like the amount of titles they have, but they have such good quality genre films.
Oh,
I mean,
quality.
so
Yeah,
many
Chuck
good
Norris
70s
flicks
and
and-
lots
yeah.
of good 70s, lots of good 80s. They're just, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. And especially because I need a bad movie fix pretty constantly. So
Yeah.
you get some really good bad ones
There you
in there
go.
too.
Oh,
And it's free. It's free.
It's the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh,
I'll watch
man.
the commercials. Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Jeff?
Oh no, I'll take the commercials, man. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well, they
For that-
actually got
yeah.
they actually got better with the commercials. They spread them out longer now.
They
I
do.
know,
Yeah.
Early Tubi days, they were kind of consistent, but they moved them out.
Constant.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, shout out to Tubi, the best streaming service going today.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this was a blast to have you guys here on the channel. It's an honor, especially telling the backstory and the creation of the film. And I'm really excited for the movie. You know, I'm even more excited for the movie now. Just hearing the behind the scenes of the stunts and all. You know, everybody putting in that hard work. Shout out to Michael and everybody involved to help make this happen. And like we say to all our guests, this is your second home now. All right, it's your second home.
man.
So you guys come back anytime, man. Anytime.
it's a cozy home. Man.
Absolutely. We could talk. I mean, you have to shut us up, as you can see. So,
We burn the midnight oil.
yeah.
We'll avoid writing by just talking flicks. you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, we gotta write.
we
you
get
know?
together for writing, and then 2 hours later, after we're
I'm still-
arguing our
Yeah.
verses,
Yeah.
that's what
Hey,
happens.
I'm gonna hit you guys up. for some future
Do it.
videos.
Please do.
Do it. We're there, Samurai. We're big fans of your show, and we
Oh,
really
thank you.
really appreciate just the love for the Retaliators and support. We like I said, pre-sales August 5th, retaliatorsmovie.com, and just really appreciate the support, man.
Oh yeah. Anything else you'd like to say to your followers? Any final words?
Gear Brother, go to Gear Brothers on Instagram. Movie news, and then we post some of our geeky horror stuff on there too. So
Awesome.
yeah,
I will leave links to everything in the description box below of this video. And again, they're going to be back here. Samurai Guy's going to bug them now. I don't know.
No.
They may regret being on the show now. I'm going to be bugging them like every day now with something.
we're here, dude.
Yeah,
we're
but-
here.
oh, yes.
But again, it was an honor to have you here. And hey, y'all know what you need to do. That's right. The Retaliators, baby. That's right. Pre-order them tickets. Go see it in the theater. Support it. Hey, we got to keep badass genre films like this alive and kicking, baby. That's right.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
Got to do it. It's just too much goddamn fun.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I
You can have your pants on.
yeah, I await my 6X shirt. I await my 6X shirt. I'll send you my
6X.
address.
All right, 6X. It's
6X,
on.
man.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Don't go anywhere, guys.